Hello and welcome back to Shokuho, and we're here at our newly conquered town, and hilariously enough, as you can see, so are the Takeda clan, and they're attempting to murder us. Oh yeah, they certainly are. And funnily enough, I could just go, yeah, you know what? Goodbye, leave us alone, I'm taking off, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. Unfortunately, this is probably not going to happen. Just purely because I actually think it's going to be better for us in the long run to actually defend against this army, even though we are at war against so many people. I think so. So I'm going to decline this. I'm going to decline this for now. And technically what we could do is I could ambush them. We could ambush them and go out there. I am at 100% HP, which, that's pretty good, you know, that's pretty good. Bear in mind, obviously, in the previous episode, we did have a slight bit of, a slight bit of drama going on, you know, where we had a bit of a troublesome situation where we had to get away relatively fast, because otherwise we're going to have some big problems and maybe even get ourselves taken prisoner. So, yeah, there is that to consider. Now, we did actually level up our tactics skill. Very nice. 3% damage when your troops are sent to confront the enemy, or 10% damage against bandits. Okay, this is always so funny. Yeah, I'm actually gonna plug one of my other videos right now. There is a video that I made a while ago. I'm not sure if it's. I think it is still very relevant, and my opinions might have changed on a number of different things. But anyway, the point is, there's a video that I made. Basically, it's a 4-hour-long video based on the ranking of perks, and basically doing a tier list of all the perks in the game, every single perk ever. And yeah, so it takes a long time to go through all those, and I give my opinion on everything. And if you're interested, well, you can find it very easily, I'm assuming. Anyway, we're gonna go for coaching here. Lawkeeper is just absolutely terrible in my opinion. There is no reason to take that over coaching. I don't even understand why you take Lawkeeper, to be honest. The only reason why you'd want to do this is if you're only attacking bandits. I guess it depends on the mod, maybe. Maybe the bandits in a particular mod are stronger than normal or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, the other perk is just so much better from a general use case. 3% is also absolutely god-awful, you know, it's just terrible, so there really isn't any reason to even take either of these, but I suppose any percentage is better than 0, right? Funnily enough, though, I personally disagree with that whole thing where it's just like, well, okay, yeah, we're going to be, you know, taking this crazy, you know, crazy 250th level perk or something like that, and then basically the 250th level perk gives me something like 2% additional damage. Yes, 2% additional damage. I mean, really, how can I say, oh yes, I love 2% additional damage? No, no, thank you. I do not want 2%. I want 20%. Or something like that for 250 skill levels in a particular skill tree. You know, it doesn't make sense for me to have such a minuscule amount of bonus from certain perks, in my opinion. I think it's much better for us to actually have some kind of literal benefit, you know, because as it stands, there is no benefit for getting some perks to super high levels. It's actually quite funny. You know, it's pretty staggering, actually, that there are some that basically don't give you anything at all. Very surprising. Anyway, we're just going to destroy this. Wow, I'm doing insane damage to the battering ram, surprisingly enough. Let's kill this guy, thank you very much. And yeah, I can now get back on my purebred horse, and we can now go, well, to basically not do anything, because the enemy is very dead. They are very dead. They literally did not know what was happening here. Apparently they got themselves outnumbered, outgunned, outskilled. Ah, no, never mind. The enemy reinforcements are indeed arriving now, and they are coming over from here. Very cool. I actually really appreciate these kinds of scenarios. Usually I don't do the whole ambush thing because most of the time I prefer just letting the enemy, you know, come into the walls because I find that a bit more fun. But this is actually really fun, to be honest. I'm going to say it right now. I actually think that this is really, really enjoyable to do. And, well, let's see if I still feel like it's enjoyable once I get shot in the face by one of these gunners. Because no doubt that's probably going to happen sometime soon. What's actually going on here? Oh, they're trying to destroy this random thing. Oh, yeah, by the way, I shouldn't go into the water here. If I go into the water here, I think I'm dead. So I should be a little bit... I should be a little bit careful about that, shouldn't I? Yes. Okay, wait a minute. Let's actually just see here. Where are the gunners? There is a gunner here, I'm pretty sure. There is a lord as well. Let's try and eliminate the lord if we can. Or at the very least, it's a vassal of some kind. I'm not sure if it's anything super, super good or whatever, but yeah. Oh, no, no. Oh, I knew it was going to shoot me. I knew it was going to shoot me at that exact moment. That is pretty terrible. Oh, well, never mind. It's not actually that bad. The enemy is organizing. Consider a tactical retreat soon. Well, funny thing is, we would have actually had a really good time here if I had just lived a little bit longer. I'm going to retreat, even though we have the advantage here at this point. They're not going to go in without a battering ram. They are going to be constructing a new battering ram very, very quickly here. Let's just hope that my medicine skill is able to... Oh, wow. Yeah, this is... I don't know whether they're actually going to even be trying something here. Let me actually just see... Wait a minute. Where are the building spots? I can't even see the building spots on the floor here. This is crazy. Okay, so there's only 3... by the looks of things, I think. Yeah, there's only 3. So we're just going to build these, and we're just going to see what happens. Obviously, we have much stronger braziers than the opponent does, so I think we should be absolutely fine with that. We did eliminate a lot of the enemy vassals, so they may not want to go in immediately due to that. They might be waiting a little bit of time just in case. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I am at 50% HP now, so I'm a little bit more... a little bit more positive if they decide to come in and actually attack us. Because I was quite worried. Yes, I was quite worried, to be honest, when we got eliminated there. I was very much thinking that we would have some huge problems and that they would, well, go straight in. Because if they went straight in after they built their battering ram, I would be at about 11% HP, which would be a catastrophe. That would be probably one of the worst situations that we could be in. But no, thankfully, they made a mistake. They have really, really not done themselves any favors. Okay, so it looks as though the army has now disbanded, and look at what they have done. They left some of their people behind, and this has just, oh yeah, this has spelled their demise much, much better than I ever could have hoped for beforehand when they were actually attempting to besiege our castle, or should we say besiege our town. Now, I am going to be heading in here against these guys. Now, bear in mind, obviously, they're already disorganized, which is great. We already have a pretty significant advantage. I have a massive number of archers for some reason. I don't even know where all these guys came from, but I guess all the people that we've been converting. I did actually travel, as I said before, a couple of episodes back. I did travel back to Saikai territory and get a bunch of recruits, and I've been leveling those up over time. Thankfully, we didn't lose too many of those in our wonderful, wonderful retreat earlier on, in the previous episode, that is. And hopefully, these guys are not going to be too far away. No, it doesn't seem like it. Okay, we might be able to get a handful of kills with our gun here. I'm not going to try super, super hard with this, but I am going to try get a... Oh, yeah. Oh, no, we've got a... Oh, nice. We've got a good animation this time around. We've got a good animation, so I might even be able to level this up to 275. That would be pretty fun. Maybe I can hit someone. Yes, there we go. We actually did manage to hit one person. Unfortunately, because of the extreme range that we're firing at right now, it is going to be much less damage. But look at that. 260 in guns right now. 260. Maybe we can do a little bit more. Obviously, Ashigaru, not exactly fantastic for us to try and hit here. Maybe I can try and hit some of these fellows instead. No, hitting the horse, probably not the best idea. Thank you very much. I still actually don't understand why we don't get experience for attacking horses, to be honest, because if you do hit a horse from a really, really far distance away, I mean, yeah, sure, it's a larger target, I suppose, but the fact is, if you still hit a horse from far away, I think you should still get some experience for it. I don't know. For me personally, I think you should, but I don't know. Maybe that's just not what they wanted to do. Anyway, we will continue firing here. I have to admit that the wonderful, wonderful speed of our animation here is definitely increasing my enjoyment of the gun. And there it is, 261. Okay. Unfortunate that a lot of these guys do seem to have over 100 HP, so it is making it a lot more difficult for us to actually make kills here. And I'm actually wondering why these guys are not charging in. They're being quite stubborn right now, because I would have expected them to charge right on in as soon as we gained a handful of kills. Oh, there we go. They're actually yeah, my reload animation has now reset itself back to the previous one, so we now have to wait like 12 seconds or something like that in between, which is absolutely fine. Obviously, I'm using my super speed mod, which I very much love. I think it is absolutely amazing to have that. Probably one of the best mods you can get, actually, all intents and purposes, because it is just widely used for so many different cases, you know. That's it's definitely a recommendation from me right there. You know, the super speed mod is just, in my opinion, way too good to pass up, because you always end up in situations, I don't know about you, but for me personally, I always end up in situations where you are going to be waiting around. Like, for example, let's say that your people are taking a while to, you know, move the battering ram or move the siege towers or, you know, whatever, you know, any number of things. Depends obviously on what kind of mod you're playing. Maybe you're playing the base game, you know, things like that. And generally, if you don't want to wait for them to move it all the way there, because sometimes that can take multiple minutes. And I personally love the fact that you can just speed it up. You could just speed it up, save time. Same thing with these kinds of battles as well, where you're holding position, because obviously you don't really want to wait a significant amount of time for the enemy to run into your bullets, in my case here. Whereas when you're, you know, playing a different kind of build, different kind of composition, then of course you don't really need to worry about that. But for me, it is such a lifesaver, because the amount of time that it would take for all of these enemy waves to run into our gunners, it would just waste too much time, in my opinion. Anyway, we're going to be taking all these guys prisoner once again, because I want to try to reduce their overall pressure that they have on us, potentially. Obviously, they're not really going to be super, super powerful at the moment, because we have been doing quite a lot of damage to them. Unfortunately, they do still seem to be quite, shall we say, willful. Yes, they seem to be quite willful. They seem to be very much present in the moment here, and they're very much wanting to interfere in what we're trying to do, which is obviously their prerogative. They really need to do that. Unfortunately, it is causing us a bit of a headache here and there. And speaking of headache, I actually don't have a huge amount of food, so we're going to have to do something about that. Unfortunately, Minoa does not have any food at the moment. You can see here, we're having a bit of a problem because of the prosperity change, because it has been under siege for so long. So I will maybe have to head to Utsunomiya, which is probably not good. Oh dear. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, we have 18 days worth of food. 18 days? That is actually extremely little in the grand scheme of things, because there are many, many moments where I'm actually waiting for about 10 days, you know? There's been many, many moments where I've had to do that. I'm going to decline this again. I'm going to continue declining the peace agreement from exhaustion here. I'm not sure if that's really the right play to make at the moment, but the reason why I'm doing it is purely because I think to myself, you know what? I want to eliminate the Takeda clan. I want to eliminate them completely, utterly from the game. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if that's even doable. I don't know whether that's even doable. So it comes down to whether we think we can actually do this. Because think about it. Look at how many they have right now. They only have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they got like 6 castles, right? They got like 6 castles or something like that. That's kind of difficult, especially considering Mangoro is all the way over there. Why is he all the way over there? Why is he being so useless? I don't know. Well, whatever the case, I am actually going to be creating... Oh, hello. This guy has a massive army. Yes, we're going to be calling for an army of all these friends of ours. 8 days. No, I'm not going to call for him. That guy is going to take 8 days to get over here. That's going to be completely and utterly huge waste of his time, I think. And yeah, we're just going to get these guys to come over here because they're going to be exceptionally useful. Now, I am going to, of course, go into the town here and get some food first, and then we're going to move on to our first town, or shall we say, first castle, and we're going to try to eliminate them. Ah, now look at what we have here. We have another marriage offer, and this time it is for Ichibei, which is our eldest son. Now, bear in mind, obviously, we are going to be gaining a lady here. She seems okay. I wouldn't say that she's obviously amazing or anything like that. However, you know what? I'm not going to do this one. Okay, I'm not going to do this one. I actually would really, really like it if the lady that he ends up marrying would be somewhat decent in terms of combat ability. I'm not sure if that's even going to be possible at this point, but it would be very cool if we could make that happen. I know that I think our other son actually did marry someone with combat ability, so it would be, I don't know, I think it's doable. I think it is actually doable. Anyway, as you can see right here, we did starve out the garrison at Komoro Castle, and hopefully we're going to be able to do this, because here's the thing. Going into these castles nowadays, my main goal is just to try and survive as long as I can, do as much damage as I possibly can, and obviously I do have situation... This is very cool. I love this layout. And of course, bear in mind, I am doing a much riskier play because I am actually not using a battering ram. Not sure, as I say, whether that's a good idea. I personally think that a battering ram is much better when you're dealing with a town, but I think a castle, I'm not sure if you really need it super badly. So I'm kind of in two minds about that. As you can see, all my forces can kind of go up here and not have really any problems whatsoever. Surprisingly enough, this guy is blocking me like no one's business. But, you know, that notwithstanding, we should actually be alright. I just have to murder everything in our path. I actually have no idea. Where do I go? Where do I go? Have I done this one before? I think I've done this one once before. And this clearly is very, very dynamic. We are going to need to be extremely, extremely cautious here because there are so many ways that the archers can do damage to us. Thankfully, I don't think they have too many gunners. I don't think gunners are the name of the game here for these particular militia. But I don't know. Maybe they could be. That's the thing. They could be. So we should try to be a little bit careful here. Now let's just see if I can... Yep, there we go. Very nice. Hopefully they are just archers, actually. If they are just archers, I should have a pretty easy time of actually surviving. And it does seem as though... it does seem as though everything is going relatively smoothly. Funnily enough, these guys being super good at parrying me all the time is hilarious. They can be very good at that. Very nice, very nice. Oh yes, here we go. And that is indeed a victory for us right there. Super, super convincing in my opinion. Very, very nicely done. And I believe, yep, that is it. I'm actually quite surprised that they're not retreating much more than this. I mean, literally, look at what we were able to do. We absolutely blitzed them very, very quickly there. I was actually super surprised that they did not retreat sooner, but there you go. All right, there it is. And yeah, we can obviously go into the keep if we want to. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do the auto-resolve because I want to get that done. I want to get that out of there as fast as we possibly can. Now, let's just take a couple of units. I need to make sure that I'm actually getting some pretty good people here to replace the ones that we are inevitably going to lose over time. Hopefully that our, now that our Saikai population is back to the way it was, hopefully we're not going to be having too many issues with that. Now, I am going to be losing some relation with the Majima clan, which is obviously a bit of an issue, but that shouldn't be too bad as long as I provide the castles to them. So I basically just have to give them things, which is obviously fine, you know, we don't have to worry about that too much. So let's do that. And let's do that. There we go. And now let's actually just take a quick look at the... yes. The Satomi. The Satomi. They actually decided to take Minowa from us, which is hilarious, because I actually thought the Takeda clan were going to be the ones to do that. But that's okay. We don't have to worry about that. All we need to worry about is eliminating the Takeda clan as it is. And now look at what we have going on here. We have another army of ours roaming around the land, which I very much appreciate. Oh, look at that. We've even got someone else with a massive army, actually surprisingly massive. Look at that, 425. Now, they are indeed doing battle with a number of the... Look at this, a number of the people in the area. The Satomi, they have no idea what they are coming up against right now. They have absolutely awakened a fearsome beast that they cannot possibly handle. No, they cannot possibly handle it. And indeed, yeah, more peace agreements coming in right there from the Takeda clan. Of course, I am declining every single time. And we will otherwise just cross our fingers and hope that these guys are actually going to do a siege. It would be very, very nice. Yes, they are. Oh, no, they're coming to us. Well, they have 2,000 people. Well... If they do join us, I will literally, well, the Hojo clan have declared war against us again. That is hilarious. Okay, I will do an auto-resolve. I will do an auto-resolve here, eliminate those guys immediately, take the castle very, very quickly, and... well, move on, I guess. What else am I supposed to do, really, right? What else am I supposed to do in these situations? Well, I don't really know, to be honest. I'm not going to take the loot. I have just so much cash as it is. There really is no point. And let's just take a quick look here. Okay, so... Takeda clan have... 1, 2, 3. They have 3 things remaining. Obviously, the Satomi, they are doing some very annoying things at the moment. But the thing is, if... okay, this is a good thing right here. If the Satomi, if they take everything that we have taken from the Takeda clan, that's actually still fine. That's actually still fine. It's not great. It is okay, because then at least the Takeda clan do not own it, right? Because that means that they are then going to be eliminated, you know, even so. You know, they're going to be eliminated even so we don't need to really worry about that too much. And we now have another war declaration, and the war declaration is the Uesugi. They're attempting to attack us now as well. I'm not entirely sure what this guy is doing. What is this guy actually doing right here? You know, I kind of feel like I should just do this, but I cannot bring myself to do it. The Takeda clan are almost dead. They are literally almost dead. I cannot give it up. I don't know. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. Maybe it's stupid for me to be so stubborn here in this one moment, because I've obviously accepted a number of exhaustion peace agreements in the past. But in this situation right now, I am consistently thinking to myself, you know what? I actually really, really badly want to get them eliminated. I really, really badly want to do that. But... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna have to wait an extra 2 days anyway. I'm hopeful that our army over there is actually going to do something. Yeah, is he actually going to? Yes, he's traveling to Ueda Castle at the moment, which is pretty good. Making peace with the Satomi? Okay, I have a bad feeling about that. Yes, making peace with them is going to mean that we're going to be paying them a significant amount of money. What do you bet? Yes, I'm almost 100% certain about that. And also, bear in mind that obviously because of a bug, potentially, we are going to be facing 0 influence very, very soon. So we are no longer going to be able to lead our army, of course. We're not going to be able to do that. Let's just hope that this guy's army is going to actually defeat those guys. Yes, he is actually in a battle with them. He is in a battle with them right now. I have no idea how big the army is, but it is a Hojo clan vassal army, and hopefully, yep, there we go. He absolutely destroyed them. 2,000 troops. I mean, really, 2,000 troops. How can you lose with that, right? I mean, the Hojo clan must have had much less than that, and they managed to get themselves caught, which is perfect. So, once again, what I'm going to do is I am actually going to auto-resolve this. I know, we're going to be taking a lot of knocked unconscious casualties, but I think this is worth it. I think this is worth it, just because we can get it done. We can get it out of there immediately, and we don't have to worry so much about the Takeda clan coming back and being able to do stuff, just in case I die, because I'm certainly one of the most worried people when it comes to me going into a siege and potentially dying as a result. And as you can see right here, this is exactly what I was worried about. We want to make peace with these guys. I have no idea why we would. This screen on the side here, by the way, this screen on the side should tell us how much we are going to be paying them, or how much they're going to be paying us. But unfortunately, I have to accept this. And as you can see, look at my influence. It is indeed a bug, I'm pretty sure, because I'm agreeing with everyone else, but they just steal all of my influence, which is super, super weird. Not sure what's happening with that, but there you go. Anyway, yeah, we'll just give this to these. Is this someone else that actually gets... I think these guys get lower. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, anyway, there we go. Okay, so now we have... Let's just take a quick look at this. Look at how many people we're at war against right now. It's actually insane. Oh no, they're actually paying us. Oh, they're paying us 190. Well, it's not that much, but at least we're not paying them 11,000, right? Yeah. Okay, so the Takeda clan have 2 castles remaining. This is going to be a little bit difficult. Traveling to Kofu to siege. That's actually really good. That is really, really good for him to do that. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be very, very careful here. And I'm actually going to let these guys go. I'm going to let this guy go. Let this guy go. And this one. We're going to keep these... gonna let him go as well. Just make sure that we keep the one with the most troops at the moment. And we'll let those guys, make, whatever they need to do happen. And we'll also go and manage our army a little bit here, because there is actually someone close by, I think, that I saw just now. He might have already been added to the other army. Yes, he was. Ah, that's unfortunate. It would have been very nice to get him in the army too, because he had about 400 people. It would have been very, very useful, but oh well, never mind. Can't do much about that. Sometimes you're just going to have to make do with what you have, right? And we do have this castle over here that we can potentially take. I'm probably going to be taking this off screen, and then we're going to move on to the final castle in the next episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.